Good morning, good morning. This is the Qwuinoa radio show slash podcast. I'm your host today, Corneille. With me, I have my co-hosts, Jason
Hello, hello, hello.
and Maro.
Hello.
If this is your first time listening, we're actually predominantly a music podcast or radio show where we just talk about music and topics kind of around that.
Why are we so low energy today?
I actually don't know.
Why are we so...
I don't know. I had a really weird morning. Really.
Did you? What happened?
I don't want to talk about it on there
Okay, fair.
because I'll end up like crying on there.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's today's been a weird morning.
I think we've
so-
all had weird mornings, to be honest. I don't know. Did you have a weird morning?
I just woke up. I don't know. I don't think so.
Fair.
Yeah, well, hopefully today we can get ourselves in higher spirits and make this an enjoyable episode.
Fair.
So, first topic, first segment.
Yeah, actually before that,
Yeah.
if you've been listening to anything in the last couple of weeks,
Oh,
or
okay.
even since the
Let me
last
get,
episode.
let me get my phone.
What day was last episode? Friday?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Friday.
In the last 3 days.
Okay, well, I've still been listening to Care For Me by Saba. That's still there. I've also been listening to a dude named Choker.
Joker.
His project, Speak.
Okay.
That's the project name. I've been listening to John Bap as well. Last Dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Lil Dragon. Jet Age of Tomorrow. Let me see. I'm just listening, sorry.
Let's go.
Let's see. Soft Glass. Vince Staples. And just 90s R&B in general, specifically SWV.
I've been listening to a lot of oldies.
Yeah.
Some new Jabez.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Well, Michael Sayer, who I actually put in this week's playlist, so check that out.
Okay.
A band called Hot Flash Heatwave, and PD Party. That's it.
PD Party.
Oh. I've only listened to like one album. It was Esperanza Spalding.
Oh.
Do you know
No,
her?
sorry, continue. I do know
Emily's.
it over, yes.
Is it Emily's D Evolution?
I don't know.
I don't know. But that's the one I like. I really like the album. That's one I really like. At first, I was kind of shaky about it, but that's like my favorite one.
You really?
Yeah, I actually love it. It's very fun. It's like funk.
Fair enough.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say there's one album I've been meaning to, and I still haven't listened to. J. Cole's new album.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to it. I heard-
King Overdose.
Yeah, I've heard it's either still underwhelming or just trash in general.
I've heard it's either really good or really bad, so I'm like...
I
there's
haven't even heard
strong-
really good.
No, there's just strong opinions on both sides, and I'm just kind of like... Oh,
I feel like the people saying it's really good, they're already fans of J. Cole.
Yeah, they usually already found it.
Yeah, or like you need to be a higher being to understand these lyrics, man.
I saw this tweet, it was like, J. Cole are for people that, like, record themselves giving money to the poor. And I was like...
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I need to give it a listen though. Also, what else was I gonna say? Rory came out with like 10, 11 tracks.
Oh, I
on
heard
SoundCloud.
that. I actually haven't
Right.
listened to any of his
I've
music.
finished listening
He's
to it.
collabed. Most of them, well, not most of them, but a good handful of them are collaborations with Corinne Bailey Ray.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So I want
I wanna
to
check
like
them
so
out.
far. I've heard like 3 tracks so far, and they're actually pretty good.
Isn't his bassist Malik Shakur? I think.
Yeah,
Someone, is he? Yeah.
I think so.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was kind of sidebar, but yeah, no, that's what we've been listening to.
Actually, you know, since we've told you guys what we're listening to, why don't you actually send us as well a couple of posts to Qwuinoa Pod, QWUINOA.
Yeah,
Time,
like,
man.
yeah. If you have time, like,
No, I mean,
you know, add us on Twitter, leave a comment on the YouTube because we're doing that now.
yeah. Let us know what you
Subscribe to the channel.
Exactly.
If anyone puts any hate comments, I'll just block instantly.
Nah, let's leave the hate comments. Let's keep the discourse going.
I don't have time to argue. I'll just block. I don't have people have energy to be arguing with other people. If
Wow.
someone insults me, I just laugh and I block, and I'll sleep well.
Imagine this is how all of our nudes leak. True this.
I remember someone sent me a curious cat message. It was kind of really angry message towards, and I just
Seriously?
laughed. Yeah, he was sent me curious cat. I was just like, I don't know who you are, and you're anonymous. I left it. I was like, I laughed. I left it there for a long time. I knew they're burning wherever they are, and then I was like, came back and was like, ha.
I don't think I've ever gotten
Deleted
hate
it.
comments on Curious Cat. I deleted my Curious Cat recently, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even use it anymore.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, I don't think I've gotten hate comments. What was he saying? What did they say?
I don't even remember. Something, they called me the N-word, I think.
Nigga, you trash.
Oh, nigga. I was like, okay.
I remember my first.
Wait, hard ER or?
Hard. It's a hard ER.
Ooh.
I was just like, okay.
So someone of the paler complexion, possibly.
Who knows?
I
Who
remember-
knows?
I
Honestly.
remember my first hate comment. It was on SoundCloud.
What they say again?
This girl called me a bastard in French.
Why?
I don't know why.
You stirred up something in her, man.
No, it was like that was like my like fourth beat to put up on SoundCloud ever.
Oh, wow.
And she called me a bastard.
It was like slang for a good.
You sound like you're still a little bit hurt about it.
I just don't
Was it
understand
slang?
why.
Maybe a slang for something.
I just
good.
don't understand.
No, there's no slang for bastard. Bastard is bastard. Like, it doesn't change.
Maybe she went like, "Oh, you mad bastard."
Nah.
She-
No, that was
Even in that context, that
what
doesn't...
made it.
I don't know.
What made it worse was she was probably a bot account. So
Imagine she was your mom. She found your SoundCloud.
nah, if she found my SoundCloud, then there'd be other.
Oh, wait, do you speak French at home, though?
Yeah,
I mean...
but my mom would never call me a bastard. She called me other things, but a bastard, I'm not sure.
Fair.
Mom called me handsome.
That's because your mama loves you.
That's true.
But you are kind of handsome.
True. You have very good skin.
Oh, thank you.
Mm.
She's like, "Oh, you look like a big baby." Thanks.
So, do you want to move on to the first segment?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Okay, Maro, take it
Ooh,
away.
maybe bring our voices up a little bit.
A little- okay.
Yeah, just so...
Wow, thanks for the energy, guys.
Ooh, there we go.
Why don't we just...
We've had word warnings, leave us alone.
Okay.
We're allowed to have one episode where we're low energy. It's not going to be low energy. Let's call it chill. The chill episode.
Don't worry, I'll come back around in like a couple of minutes.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
cool. That's the chill one.
Difference must be not merely tolerated, but be seen as a fund of necessary polarities between which our creativity can spark like a dialectic. I don't know what that means.
Fam,
Dialectic?
the English is suffering.
Yeah.
You need to repeat that.
Yes, please.
Okay. Difference must be not merely tolerated, but be seen as a fund of necessary polarities between which our creativity can spark like a dialectic.
Okay, I won't lie. There's a lot of big ass
Oh,
words. that I
dialectic.
don't-
Okay, I get the concept. I just don't know what dialectic means. Like, I kind of agree, though, because, like, it's kind of stuff we usually talk about, just in terms of music anyway, taking different influences and incorporating them into your own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel, yeah, that's my thoughts. I feel like that's all I can really
Yeah.
glean from that. Well, like, I that could work, like, just outside music as well, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just in terms of people, like, they treat difference, like, even just between people, like, race, whatever, just as like an us versus them kind of mentality, as opposed to, like, accepting differences and then, you know, celebrating
Yeah.
people. It's like the people who are like, oh, I don't see color or whatever,
Yeah.
but, like, that
See,
doesn't make sense.
In relation to music, though, I feel like a lot of black artists are more willing to branch out and like look at different genres.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of white artists kind of stay within themselves and within their genre and are very much more protective, I think.
I think as well that when it comes to white artists, when they do delve outside of their genre, that it's not they don't execute it very well, or it's just, for at times it's just.
Can we say maybe a certain Post Malone?
Is it every day?
Yes, it is.
It's funny
It's
how
true.
The dude's gross. I'm sorry.
He's really gross.
It's just, I think, like, I mean, there's, as an artist in general, I think that it's possible to go outside of like what you normally do,
Yeah, exactly.
study it, appreciate it and apply it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing though. Apply it, because like it'd be weird if like, say a metal band switched up and suddenly started doing reggae songs. You know what I mean?
No.
You have to incorporate it into what you already do and how it fits into like your own your own personal style. If you get what I mean?
And even sometimes like styles change as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, to be honest with you, like somebody could have been doing one type of music like 10 years ago, and now they're just in a completely different place. So that can change in general. But like I said, if it's not authentic, or if it's not applied properly, it just comes off weird, you know.
Yeah.
Difference is like not necessarily a.
Keep talking. I'm just gonna fix Mara's mic.
Okay. Well, guys, I'm talking to you only. So
Well, Mara can talk to.
okay, no, it's cool. Difference is something that's like, I think it requires a lot of discernment. You know, a lot of people aren't necessarily authentic with what they do, and
I'm back.
yeah, so they're not necessarily authentic with what they do. So it can come off a bit weird anyway, to me anyway,
Yeah.
like the way I see it. Because, and also like in terms of difference, I think someone can also kind of not necessarily reinvent themselves, but evolve within themselves without looking on outside influences. And I
Yeah.
think like that, like as hard as it is to do, it is, you know, something we do see in terms of music. Like we get people that like, you know, one day or one particular period of time in their music career they wanted to do such and such, and then they just kind of switch up on everyone. And like,
I mean, but sometimes it works though. You know what I mean?
yeah, of course. Sometimes it doesn't. It fails. Like, you know,
That flops heavy.
music. Okay, I can't believe. Okay, Music Soul Child.
I don't think I do.
You do know him.
I know Music Soul Child.
Music Soul Child. He was on Robert Glasper's Black Radio.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he did. He decided to be a rapper, and it's trash. It's trash.
Oh.
It's actually trash. Like he tried, but it just that's
Didn't
not
work
his
out.
thing. That's not his thing at all. So obviously he went back, as he should have,
Yeah.
to singing.
I mean, it could be worse because there's some people like the genre they start off with, and it's just
It's like Childish Gambino.
Sorry.
It's like Childish Gambino. He started rapping and he realized that he sounds better when he's singing.
You know, he was like really bad to start off with.
Oh, he was terrible.
He was
like,
really,
what was it, Camp? What was his first project? Terrible.
Even
so bad.
everything was so.
Because the internet was better, much better.
It was an
Well,
improvement.
But Camp was not good.
Camp was trash. A lot of people like it, but I don't see the appeal at all. There's no skill set whatsoever.
When he came out with "Awaken My Love," that was just you should have started with this.
Yeah,
you
it was
know what I mean?
smooth. It was nice.
Yeah, I
Smooth.
liked it. Like Redbone, I feel like Redbone's a classic, in my opinion. But like then you look back at his previous work, it's just like, why did you should have started here?
But then you look back, like I think he's an example of someone that like kind of went outside of what he initially started with. You look back and you're like, I wouldn't have imagined him getting to this point.
True.
Crooning.
But the thing is,
on the
that's
way.
because he changed up his style. Like some people are still trying to hold on, like G-Eazy, just like your music isn't good, dude. but you keep holding on, and like I can respect that.
A lot of people like Jeezy.
A lot of people like terrible things. Like,
Weren't you the one that said music is subjective?
yeah, I know, and I completely understand that. But this is all in my opinion.
Some people are like, that's
The
Jeezy's
thing
their
is,
role model.
This is all in my opinion, though.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's objectively bad because I could just be wrong.
Okay.
But in my opinion, he's dog trash.
That's a very. That's a very strong.
Because, like, some people, that's their role model. Like, they will cry if you walk into
He's a role model.
No, it's true. You do have people that are like.
Like, they saw him,
really
they
look
scream and be like, in tears.
If Jesus is your role model, I'm sorry for a different reason.
I think listen to that on rotation. Like, you don't understand. Like, people, like, turn that on. Like, they
I
go,
know.
Jason,
This is
you really said that with chest as well.
I mean, I'm tired.
But like,
This is a tired episode for me.
okay, so a phrase I always thought of was like the color in anything, right?
Yeah.
what's that mean?
Listen, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Let me explain. You think I'm just gonna leave it at that and just move on, right? Without any context. Every person, right, just goes through different phases of their lives. and we're not always kind of like the same person. Like for me personally, like I'm not the same person I was a year ago, or a week ago probably, or even 5 minutes ago. Free murder. Yeah, but like everybody's not the same person that they are, you know, completely forever. And they kind of express themselves like, you know, you get a full spectrum of colors with the person. Like you get the bright, vibrant, and you get the really dark ones. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of sides to people that, you know, they want to express musically, you know, in their music. And sometimes the differences ties into that. You know, maybe they want to be able to express themselves outside of a genre because they think that that particular thing is able to really carry what they want to, you know, let people know, or what they want to really share with people. That's the way I think about it anyway. I don't know. I'm just...
Nah, pretty much. I agree.
Yeah.
I kind of regret all the Jeezy slander now.
No, it's okay.
They're really going to come and snipe you out.
I started daydreaming for a second, and I was just like, imagine his lawyers just like coming through the window and shit.
First of all, we're not even that relevant enough.
I know.
We're actually relevant enough to have people put in the W of Qwuinoa. But we're not relevant enough that like we get lawyers.
I luckily hope we stay that way because one, R. Kelly's coming for us.
Oh my god, Joe what G-Eazy sounds like? You know those dryer sheets?
Oh god.
That you put in the... It sounds like detergent. Like, oh, G-Eazy.
Okay, wait, I have to ask a question though. You know the way people really love, you said people really love G-Eazy, right? Do you think Iggy Azalea has the same fan base? Because I don't know why that came to mind, but I got a shiver, and I got a shiver. Like the thought came to my mind.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know her fan base like that though.
I don't know her fan base.
I don't know.
I think that's. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, forget I said anything.
I feel like if I was a white guy, I would love G-Eazy. Because I'd be able to relate to him.
No, I think as well.
Struggle.
I think as a white guy as well, loving G-Eazy is like the closest thing to you being able to say the N-word.
I mean, they just say the N-word though.
No, but I mean like
any Brockhampton concert.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. That's actually kind of true. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to think about in terms of differences. I mean, differences can be good and differences can be bad. I mean, it depends on who the person is and their intentions and motives.
See, I feel like differences don't like. I guess it kind of depends on the context in which you're talking, like just saying. But I feel like differences don't. There is no bad difference unless it's negatively impacting somebody. If you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like it could be weird, but there's nothing wrong with it. Like, do you? As long as it's not.
But
like,
G-Eazy.
Even G-Eazy. But like, as long as it's not negatively impacting anybody, I feel like, you know, do you live your truth?
G-Eazy.
Why'd you look? I mean, if G-Eazy's your truth, I'm not gonna tell you to find any truth, but live your life.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's the quote of the week.
Yeah.
I'll have a better one next week.
Oh yeah, speaking of next week, here's a notice for people. This is our second last episode right now.
Oh, true.
Right now is our second last. So
until summer. Until for a while, anyway.
For a while, yeah. So this is you know our 7.
Yeah.
So
7, yeah.
We've come a long way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't even bear to listen to the first episode.
I'm gonna go.
I had to because I had to.
I know you had to, Jason. Thanks you for editing and having to go through.
Sound.
Absolutely grand. Yeah.
You mad bastard.
Why'd you bring that up again?
Well, he's sad.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
She say Batard.
Yeah.
Like the Stromae song.
Yeah, she put it in all caps.
I love that song, by the way.
She put it in all caps.
I didn't know it meant bastard. Nice.
With chest, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it though.
Wow.
Allure Unknowns was my summer jam.
Oh, my teacher ruined her. My friend's teacher. She danced to it. It was really awkward.
Ooh, that's not cool.
Yikes.
My French teacher introduced me to a lot of good French music, actually.
Oh.
Like Edith Piaf and what was the other one? Kurt Beer. Whatever, never mind.
There are actually a lot of good music in different languages. in different cultures as well.
Esperanza spelling.
Yeah, true.
What language is that?
Spanish.
No, that's the name. I mean, what's the music?
Oh, the music.
Yeah.
Oh, it's jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz, funk.
No, but I meant like in terms of like out of the like different countries.
She's from Cuba, I think.
I know she's from Cuba, but like, okay.
She speaks Spanish in some of her music.
I know, but I mean like French music or. Why did you do that, Jason? That was actually kind of mean.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay. What is Calucha speak Spanish?
Since you know
What
yourself,
song?
Tyrant, the Nuestro Planeta. Do you not remember? You were bumping that in. Yeah. Let's see. What could we do today?
I mean, what topic were we gonna do? Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
Jason was unfortunately cornered, and
A little bit.
it was accidental. It was my fault, but
Not really.
yeah, it was. It's okay. I can own up. So, Jason, what is the title of your topic?
We're gonna do Death of the Author. I had so much more. Why are you laughing?
What are you doing?
That's so strange.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Sorry, don't listen to me.
That was really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Death of the Author.
Yeah.
I had a lot more written on this, but I left it at home. So this is gonna be surface level. Why are you laughing?
It's the video.
At your age.
You're so fucking annoying.
Why? Mara, at your age. I'm sorry.
It's just super westerner. Hey, back time.
Slip shits. Wow. And he said it just so concise as well.
Oh god.
It was a 419 documentary.
Is there a link to it? We can put in the.
It's a BBC documentary.
Oh god.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
Alright. Death of the Author. Yeah, so I had a lot more written on this, but I left it at home. So it's gonna be very surface level. But I told you guys the meaning of that yesterday, right?
Can you explain this to everyone else, Jason?
I don't want to. But okay, so basically, Death of the Author was a book written by a guy whose name I had written down, but I don't remember his name right now because I don't have the notes. But basically, the argument is that you shouldn't judge a piece of work or analyze a piece of work based on the artist and his personality, if you get what I mean. Rather, and you should base it more on the Wikipedia. Thank you.
It was written by Roland Barthes.
Hey, there we go. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
French, sorry.
Oh, true. Yeah, sorry. You're the expert here.
No, not.
You speak French.
With names, maybe, but like.
But yeah, anyway. That doesn't help at all.
So basically, you judge the...
You analyze the work based on the emotion it elicits versus...
and you don't connect it to the artist?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, like...
It's its own entity, basically.
Yeah,
It takes on its own.
I have an issue with it, kind of, because, like, this doesn't really have anything to do with music so much, but, like, the book, like, Charles Bukowski? The author?
Yeah, I know Charles.
So
Bukowski.
in his work, he does, like, from his books, you can kind of tell that he has a thing against women in the way he writes.
Yeah.
And then you learn in his life, he just hated women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, you can't really take that away because, like, it's very connected to who he is as a character.
Yeah.
And how he writes, and it's very apparent in the work, and that's kind of the feeling he gives off.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like sometimes you do have to connect the music to its creator. And
So, do you think there's any instance or possibility that a person can actually create a body of work without having themselves as a person attached to it? Like, without you being able to notice their hand was on that?
I mean, I guess you could if you didn't, because, like, say 5 people listen to the same project, right?
Yeah.
So 5 people could take 5 different things away from that. And it might not necessarily be what the artist intended or it might not necessarily reflect what he is, how he is, and that kind of stuff. So I feel like, obviously, because I'm not saying it, I can't give you the example right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, you can, but it's very difficult because the things you create are, I feel like, innately part, like, you can kind of see where you're coming from a little bit in the things you make.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
if you were to ever create something without associating yourself with it, it'd come off really robotic and mechanical.
Yeah,
Yeah, you wouldn't be. Especially with music, it's very hard to do that with music.
Right? Because, like, even, like, people always say, oh, well, like, nowadays mumble rap, like, is very shallow or whatever. Or, like, all they talk about is, like, doing drugs. But, like, that's their life.
But, like,
they're literally just...
But even then, like, that music isn't, like, something that you sit down... Like, you're not going to sit down and be like...
Making
think about it. It's party music.
And it makes me think about the metaphysics.
Yeah, it's just background music. It's not,
But it still reflects the life they're living. You know what I mean?
It's like... And it's like... Us as a... Like what we were talking about, differences. This ties in perfectly with differences. Because the thing is, the person you are now, you're not the person you were before.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's many sides to us. And sometimes we want to be deep and thoughtful. Sometimes you just don't want to as well.
I mean, sometimes you want to be deep and thoughtful, but you just aren't deep and thoughtful.
Sometimes you just want to hear bangers or something.
You know
I don't know,
exactly.
We're not all and I think that's a problem as well in music, is that there's this pretentiousness.
Yeah, like you want your music to convey a certain thing, but if that's not part of who you are, then how are you going to do that?
Exactly.
I also know this as well. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go.
Why is it that a lot of artists make music from pain?
Do you know what? I was actually thinking about this the other day. I feel like
nobody makes a song just be like, oh, this is because I'm happy.
Yeah, it's like the ratio of love songs to sad songs. There's a lot more in sad songs. I feel like because negative emotions are easier to draw out. Because for stuff like love, you need another person, but you don't. You can be alone and be sad. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's harder to be alone and happy, or alone and content.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean, in that kind of context. So I feel like those things, especially and since most people are alone most of the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, there's more. You're gonna be alone more than you are gonna be with other people. If that makes sense. So just off frequency off that, I feel like you're gonna be sad more often, or it can lead to more negative emotions because you can still be alone and happy, obviously. You know what I mean? But I feel like just because of that, it kind of makes people like it's easier to draw out negative emotions, especially nowadays because like we don't have shit like a war going on, so we can actually we actually have time to think about problems. Sorry about that. And like, cause I feel like people always say, "Oh, this generation is more depressed." But that's not. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like everyone's been depressed always. It's just that now we actually think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that makes it worse.
I think as well. I think as well the reason why a lot of sad music is prevalent is because I think for us as human beings. Now I could be wrong, but I think it's a lot easier sometimes to just. I don't know. It's easier sometimes to capture that type of emotion, and it's so relatable to people in general. But I mean, it's not like I do get what you're saying, though. I mean, I can't really think of any music like I listen to that's like just happy-ish.
Not even like love songs are usually like
Coloring Book.
I know, but that
even love songs are like heartbreak love songs.
Yeah,
they're not even like, oh, I'm happy, I'm in love with this person.
It was like, remember I was saying like you can be sad on your own. But you can be sad with other people too. So you can pretty much be sad in all situations. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you're with other people, that's just more of a penchant for being sad.
And also, like, I think...
Or I could be wrong.
I think as well... Okay, I get what you're saying. So they kind of just... They don't migrate kind of outside of the concept.
I feel like people don't... Because, like, they're not sad all year. No one's sad all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So...
You can be sad most times, but no one's sad all the time.
No.
I don't know, like, people should write more songs about it. I feel like people should write... People just don't tap into the fact that when they are happy and present in that moment, they should...
I feel like it's because people, like, especially nowadays, or not so much nowadays, but back in the day, people like, why, like, if you... Okay, so take this, like, when you were a kid and you were sad, or if you were in a bad mood, right? Your parents would be like, why is your face like that? Why are you angry?
Yeah.
As if happiness should be your baseline emotion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? As if you're not allowed to feel sad or whatever. So I feel like people don't really tap into like happy songs so much is because most people, I think at least at the back of our heads, we're like, oh, you're supposed to be happy. You know, that's the emotion you're supposed to feel.
And I think as well, also, I just had it.
Always happens
Wait,
to me.
no. What I was trying to say was the whole thing of happy and sad is like I think in terms of art, a lot of people kind of think that like you need to be sad all the time for it to be even considered art, or to be even considered, anything in terms of competing with whether it's art or not. Like some suffering has to be involved, and like to be honest with you, like if we're looking at music is supposed to be kind of like either a snapshot of like where you are as an artist, or what you see or your thoughts and all. And the thing is, like, not everyone is gonna be depressed. Not everyone is gonna be sad. Not everyone is gonna be down in the dumps. And I think I don't know why it's like, yeah, it's just something that I have kind of observed as well. It's like it's a bit weird. Is that like we don't always tend to get,
and like it's fine if that like that's what you're feeling, because there's a reason why there's always been sad songs. And we're not saying don't make sad music. It's
No.
like you're gonna be sad.
No,
That's totally fine. It's like more of an observation.
It is an observation. Actually,
Just wanted to clarify.
because of
you know
the
what I mean?
because of the quote, because of what you guys are talking about in terms of like how we feel and what type of music we listen to. So there's a song by Black Milk, and it's called "Laugh Now, Cry Later," and one of the lyrics in it is like, okay, I'm gonna like fake bleep.
Okay.
So it goes, some beep, fake woke, like they don't have any flaws, right? Some others too turn, that don't represent any cause. Life's a balance, we live in all. So like, I mean, sometimes as well, some people I think that like in art, you have to put yourself in this really bad situation in order for like whatever you produce to be valid in the eyes of people that consume it as well.
Yeah.
Even though like sometimes that's not how you're feeling. So if that's not how you're feeling, don't be faking it either. Like just because
most of the time you can tell when it's not genuine. You know what I mean?
exactly, and sometimes art doesn't have to be heavy to be considered art either.
Because the whole point is just to convey your feelings.
Exactly.
If you're just like living life, just like fucking, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. You don't have to. I have to make it this thing. No, you don't. Just
No.
make the music. You
Just
know what I mean?
make it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you know the death of an artist, though.
Yeah.
You know her.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
but
yeah, the artist.
But her point was that she doesn't want anyone to see her
Yeah.
or know anything about her. She just wants everyone to listen to her music. So,
I mean, she has, but the emotions is still there though.
Yeah, no, it's not so much like taking the influence from their project and like comparing it to how they physically look. You know what I mean? You can, because like, you can still tell kind of what she thinks and how she feels about certain things from the music she makes. If you get what I mean.
Because she still put something of herself into the art, regardless of whether we see her or not.
I don't think there can really be a true separation from it, really. Because even like music, like I said before, music that people consider quote unquote shallow or whatever, it's still a reflection of the life they're living. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't think there can, and if it can be, it's very difficult to have a like clear cut separation from art and artist.
That's why like I'm not too bothered with the newer kind of rappers. Like I do know, like for me, in my opinion, they're not all that great. But
who? Name names. I name names.
All the
You
littles,
name names.
all the littles out there.
the little who?
The pumps, ramps, BMXs and
DMXs.
DMX.
little Zanettes.
DMX?
No. I was trying to be funny. I know you spoiled the
I
joke.
don't.
I don't like you, man. But like I don't know, it's just like nowadays like I'm not necessarily bothered with them because they're probably rapping whatever they feel like anyway. It's in them. I mean, if they were to rap anything other than that, like if they were to just be conscious all of a sudden, I'd be low key scared. I'm just I'd be questioning like whether it's actually genuine or not. Because at least like that's what you're gonna get with them because that's who they are. Like that's all I can give them.
That's true.
Other than that,
however, there are some that are just like kind of fake it till you make it kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Like,
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
There's people I know that like rappers that say like they're from the hood, all that stuff, and like they haven't even held a gun. Never mind saw one in their life.
That's like all of Migos. It's true. They're all from the suburbs.
Yeah. Actually, I rewatched the Migos episode of Atlanta. The four Migos.
Oh yeah, with the one cousin that like has no relation.
I'm pretty sure they just killed him. Cause like, imagine he was real. Like it was based on a real character.
Yeah,
Wow. But yeah, no, it's it's like
so Lakeith
they don't
Stanfield
really.
doesn't like Migos.
Huh?
You know Lakeith?
Lakeith
The
Stanfield.
dude.
Yeah, he doesn't like Migos.
Seriously?
real?
Yeah, I don't even think he likes Atlanta that much either. Because he throws shade at Atlanta a lot.
True, he does.
And then he deletes the tweets. And one time he said, "Sorry to bother you, the best cast I've ever worked with." I was like, what? Fuck Atlanta then.
Oh, I really want to see that movie, by the way.
I remember he
Looks-
tweeted it quickly. He was like, "I never even, never even fucked with the Migos. Don't hate all their music." And he deleted the tweet quickly.
Damn.
I love Lakeith Stanfield though.
Yeah,
He's my favorite part of Atlanta.
He's cool.
I feel like Donald Glover's co-workers don't really like him. I have
Yeah.
a feeling, because as he beats, I saw an interview and she threw shade at him too. I was like, why so does anyone like him?
Oh, are you caught up with Atlanta actually?
Yeah, I'll call up.
Do you know the Teddy Perkins episode? Was that Donald Glover playing?
That was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Creepy. So
I
creepy.
like the moment he starts
He's
speaking, I was like,
too
yeah,
well.
that's
The
Donald.
best acting he's ever
Really?
done in his
I
career.
did not know until one of you mentioned it.
Yeah,
I-
that's
I-
what Crown
so-
told me.
From the moment he like spoke, I was like, yeah, that's Donald.
That's the best acting he's done in
Terrifying,
his whole
right.
life.
Well, a white person.
Wasn't he an actor?
Well,
Well,
anyone can put that in their bio, so.
Oh god.
yeah. So like, yeah, the death of an artist is a very. I don't like. I've never seen anyone
Yeah, I don't-
with a piece of
I don't
work
get that.
that like completely disassociate.
I mean,
It's like
maybe you
dissociative.
can do it with literature because it is basic. It is meant to be
Oh,
for
yeah.
like books and stuff.
No, you can. You can do it with literature,
That's
of
true.
course, because that's a different type of art form.
but not. I would say not so much within the context of like.
Music.
No, not even that. Like
Well-
even within books, could you really apply it to like fantasy and stuff like that? Could you really apply it to what's called like fantasy? Because it is supposed to be like you get what I mean. You can really apply it to
You
that.
can't, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly.
That really makes you
you can
uncomfortable.
apply it to poetry. I feel like
Ugh.
you can apply it to like just like old school classic literature. You can
Yeah.
apply it to just nonfiction. But can
What
you?
if-
I don't know if you can apply it to like.
Well, like, how did people at George R. R. Martin get away with that? Because, like,
Oh yeah, he did some fucked up
he
things in
was
those books.
very disgusting.
Yeah.
It was very.
All the characters are, like, children
Jeez,
in the books.
that's crazy. But I think actually, what about concept albums though in music? Because you do have artists, right, that do tackle particular concepts
Yeah.
that actually have nothing to do with them.
Can you name them?
Okay, so The Roots,
True.
their album Undone, which is actually one of their best work. So it's about the life of a particular young teenager. We know he dies at the end, right?
Mhm.
Like at the
Spoiler
start.
alert.
At the start,
Oh.
he dies at the start. Don't even
How'd he die?
bang bang. Anyway,
Who shot
what else?
him?
Look, I don't know. Okay, I don't.
You know, every time you say something, I think of a song lyric in my
Has it gotten
head.
to that stage now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, what particularly happens is this person dies, but then like
Yeah.
they go through like as you go through the album, it's literally retracing the steps before that moment, which particularly doesn't have anything to do with them.
But the thing is, you don't like. You could actually have like. See, like, do you know where you're saying you're retracing steps? Even that, it could be like the little things he does could be reflective of things that actually happen in their lives, but you wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
True.
So in that particular situation, like specifically just this one, I don't know if you could really draw a conclusion without really knowing both the project and them.
Of course, yeah. Like on surface level, it's like on surface level, it could be an argument, but then, I mean, yeah, like when we talk about, so like in that example, it could almost be an argument that concept albums may not necessarily have to do with an artist, but again, their intentions, the motives,
Exactly.
it's still prevalent.
Maybe,
Because I'm
maybe
so-
they got shot. One of them got shot spiritually.
Actually, no, okay, I will say, Black Thought's mother and father,
Black thoughts.
Black Thought,
Yeah.
thought in your head,
Okay.
not the other one.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Wow.
That's why I was like, wow. I was like,
No, like in the mind thoughts.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
that did not age well. Sorry.
y'all really did this, huh? Okay. Anyway, so both of his parents actually were killed
Oh. No.
by I think Like,
Why am I laughing? I'm sorry. That was just not where I thought you were gonna go.
Why do you always do this?
why did you do that? Why are you laughing?
It was just that we
I
were
don't
cracking
know.
jokes, and then you went straight to his parents.
This happens a lot.
Okay, so I obviously don't know how to gauge the.
No, it wasn't
Just
your fault.
introduce-
It was totally our
Introduce it.
I
Wait,
did,
don't know.
and then you hit the
this
joke.
always happens.
So I moved away from the
It's
joke.
the way you do. I don't know. It always happens a lot.
fault. Oh god, sorry. Okay, his parents passed away.
Yeah, but they were
Yeah.
killed, right?
Yeah.
By, they were shot, obviously,
Yeah.
both of them. So maybe that does have something to do with the undone concept as well.
And you can also sometimes write, or not so much write, but make something and not really realize that you're putting some of yourself into it.
Yeah,
True.
You know
it's
what I
true.
mean?
It's true. It's true.
But yeah,
Yeah.
fuck, that was messed up.
Yeah. Why y'all always laugh when I say
It
that?
was
Sorry.
that. It was the switch up. I'm sorry. That's what made.
It was
me
like the
laugh.
ambulance thing you told me. I felt so
Ambulance thing?
upset.
Wait, did you hear about the
Actually,
ambulance?
No.
Okay, so what had happened was there was this dude, and they called the ambulance for this dude, and they went in, and they got to the hospital. Why are you laughing?
Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, so they got to the hospital and they opened the door, but there was a leak.
Hold it together. You can do this. There was a what? I need to know.
There was a leak in the oxygen tank.
Oh, that's not funny.
And once the door was opened, there was friction.
So it went boom.
See, when you told that story, I thought you were telling just like a
Then the ambulance blew up.
funny story.
Do you know why? I know why. It's because you start all your funny stories with that same rhythm. That's why.
Really?
Yes.
So I
It was
thought
like
I
this
thought it
one
was
time,
like
this thing happened.
the ambulance like swerved in.
Why'd you have to do that hand motion?
And they're like, "Get him out!" And they were like, "They bust through the door." As soon as they opened it, they went
Oh
back.
god.
It exploded.
No, like they were literally
thought it
at
was
the
a
hospital.
joke.
They were at the hospital
hospital.
trying to bring him
When
in.
this actually happened.
This actually
I
happened.
didn't think it actually happened.
It actually happened. Every time, look, listen. Every time I tell a sad story, they laugh harder. In fact, when it's a sad story,
It's the way you tell it.
It's, oh,
how do I tell it? I just say it matter of
It's
fact.
so
I-
monotone. Like,
I thought it was fictional.
How could I have thought of that?
I don't know. You're very creative.
Wow.
So I imagine like the ambulance like swerving and going. Like,
I didn't even mention swerving. I just said the ambulance pulled into the hospital.
oh, it's
And
the
they put on there like,
picture you painted.
get him out.
Y'all are wild. It's not
And the
me.
thing
It's the picture you painted. I'm sorry.
I didn't.
I didn't think they died. I thought it like exploded. There was like flames or something. I don't know.
Take two.
They didn't make it
Oh my god. Where was this?
in Ireland.
Oh my
Whereabouts?
god.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Nice.
I just remember listening to it on the radio and be like, "This really happened." So yeah,
But yeah, we were talking about the roots. Not when.
yeah. So
Such
basically, that could
sanctuary.
be based off of like Black
Yeah.
Thought's experiences, loosely based off of. I mean, including his experiences and stuff. So yeah, maybe you can't necessarily dissociate an artist from their work.
I'm in the camp of you can't. What about you?
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can either. If you can, you're not human.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
We're
go.
all in agreement.
Well,
Cool.
How do people listen to like G-Eazy?
are you still on
I
that?
just feel like,
Pride.
my emotions.
Actually, can't with you.
I've never been touched like this in my life.
You'd be surprised, you know.
Oh, fuck.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, if you love Jeezy, that's totally fine. But like,
It's actually not. But go off.
wow. Okay.
okay.
But
Just,
yeah,
you know,
that's the topic actually
Fine,
for
fine,
today.
anything else? Huh?
G-Eazy and Halsey are dating.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, I won't lie. I didn't know. There was two things I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know she was actually mixed.
Mixed race.
And then second of all, I only found out yesterday that camels can swim.
You never see them swimming, do you?
No.
Yeah,
What?
it's
No. You can't fault me for that. Because I've never seen a camel swim.
What made you learn that?
How do they swim?
Okay, so I was scrolling on the timeline. No, they don't breaststroke. They thread.
Doggy
they
paddle.
tread. Yeah, they doggy paddle.
All
So
right.
okay. So first of all, right, all my life, all I've seen was a camel in the desert.
All my life I had to fight. Sorry, continue.
So yesterday, I was
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, yesterday I scrolled the timeline and I was looking, and then I saw this caption and it went. I forgot the caption. All I saw was a camel swim. All I saw was a camel swim, to be quite honest. And I was like, wow, they can actually do that. And it's like, I thought they would struggle, but they handled it pretty well.
I mean, if hippos can swim, I'd say camels can swim.
Yeah, but hippos are kind of designed to. They're water horses.
But also they're heavy.
Engineer.
But also they're heavy as fuck. So you know.
Who?
Hippos.
Oh yeah, of course.
Those are really fast.
They are really fast.
They got-
Everyone underestimates the speed of a hippo.
Oh, they're
But-
really.
Watch them cut you.
Ostriches are fucking scary.
Ostriches
remember
scare me the
check-
most.
I like when I went back to Nigeria. We went on to the park and we were like in the car and the fucking ostrich chased us.
They can puncture lungs.
Oh my god. So you got a video of the giraffe chasing those people?
Giraffe.
Chasing?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen this.
It was so scary.
Really?
Yeah, they're running really fast.
Wow.
All animals can run really fast with us.
I mean sloths. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Emus are scary.
The fuck is an emu?
It's like
It's a semi-ostrich.
But Australia lost.
A mixed race ostrich.
Oh shit.
Australia
It's a
lost
Aussie.
war to emus.
They lost the war to emus.
The
Yeah.
war.
There was an
Yeah.
emu
There was a war against emus.
Australia.
This I'm not fucking go to Australia. What the fuck? How can you have a war with a whole ass animal? What are you doing?
Well, I'm glad because they did a lot of bad stuff in their lives. So.
Jesus Christ! What the hell is that?
That's an emu.
It's an emu war.
Why
Oh
is it so
shit.
long?
Anyway, we're running out of time. Let's.
Yeah, that's
Actually, well, there's no show on after us, is there?
There's
No.
someone
So we-
standing behind us. Hold on.
Yeah, no, we can take as long as we want.
Yeah,
wrap,
but-
wrap us awake. Corneille.
I don't know. Y'all
us
are
a
in a really
quickie.
giddy mood. So I don't
And
even
it's
think
funny
I
because
can
we
get
started
through
off
this.
so low energy.
Yeah. Give us a quickie.
Your mic is getting turned down.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, give us another quickie.
No. See, I'm not doing that no more. No.
Just in case you don't know.
No! That's not happening.
Fine. I'm not gonna say anything. I can't believe you turned off my mic for that.
Yeah, no, because that wasn't even supposed to make the show. And you're
That's
you're
what
here already.
That's what we're gonna call our audience from now on. The Qwuinoa quickies.
Y'all are rude. Y'all actually are rude.
Our little quickies.
You guys are
Oh,
terrible. Y'all
beautiful.
are terrible. Okay.
Oh, you love it. You made the name.
Y'all gave me the no, and then y'all are saying it here.
I know,
just-
but I had to. I switched it around a bit.
Exactly. It's grown on me.
Yeah. It's like fine wine.
Y'all do this to me all the time. Y'all.
Nice Chardonnay.
I love you. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Chardonnay.
actually, guys, this is gonna be the last Qwuinoa freestyle song.
Oh, really? Why?
Why?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know.
I'm not saying what
It's
happens
a
next week,
surprise.
but
Do I know about this?
You should.
yeah, no, this is the last one. So it could go really, really good or really bad. So, okay, let's see what I can do here. Anyway, guys, Jason, Maro, before
Yeah.
we wrap up, so is there anything that you've learned from like doing the show in general?
Editing is hard.
I love you guys.
Well, we already knew that.
Maro. Jason, the momentum,
I
damn.
can't tell you guys that because then your heads will get too big.
When have you ever said that before?
Sorry.
And when have our heads
I
ever?
love
In
you
4
guys.
years of friendship.
I love you guys.
Love you too, Maro.
Yeah, you have to.
Was that a threat?
No.
That was a threat.
Also,
Yeah.
Making a podcast is fun,
Yeah.
It is.
despite all the podcast memes.
And stereotypes.
Right.
Do you remember the
Which
stereotypes?
I didn't.
of the
Which
three
I
black-
didn't know.
The three black guys.
I found that
Set
out.
up
As soon
on-
as
I didn't know that was the thing until we started the podcast.
And
See,
then Chiz
yeah.
has sent me a tweet. Was like, starting a podcast is the millennials. Let's make a band. But we did both.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Oh yeah. So
okay.
just to recap, just in case we don't have time at the end, next week is our last episode.
Also, we can
It's
put this on
season
our
1.
CV.
Oh yeah, that's true. We can put this on our CV. Next week is the end of season. Let's call it season 1 of Qwuinoa podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be back hopefully in the summer. We won't be using college
We have a
equipment
trailer
anymore.
for season 2.
Yes.
We need video production.
I actually do have some video of you. We'll keep it secret. But yeah. Hopefully we'll be starting season 2 in the summer. With no college equipment because these two are graduated.
Oh yeah, we're leaving Manu.
It'll be in my living room probably, or wherever. And yeah, we'll be gone for a few weeks as we have exams and just general life shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's just in case we don't mention it next week.
yeah,
And you can catch this podcast on YouTube for the moment only.
yeah.
Because
I'll be putting. Right now, only episode 6 is on the YouTube, but I'll be putting all of the episodes over the coming weeks. Probably by next week.
okay, so guys, remember when we did the questions freestyle? And then you
God.
guys literally
Do we
whispered
have to do that
questions.
again?
No!
Okay.
Questions.
Anyways, you guys have to say something else now.
All right.
What do I have to say?
Spaghetti. Well, it looks like we out here.
Yep.
So
Fucking Twitter, by the way.
Names. Where can you find us? Where
Okay,
can you find
so
the
you can-
podcast?
you can find the host moi at Cap'n Wave CAPNWAV Blackbearded Boy on IG.
You can find me on Twitter at Low Spirits, LOVV Spirits, and at Nikai King on Instagram.
Is it not Ashni Kai King?
How about I'm gonna fight all of you at the end of this.
I
Squirrel,
didn't,
bro.
I
In the
didn't-
car park, be there, be
Squirrel.
square,
I
5
didn't say
minutes.
anything about. Okay, I did say
Nick,
earlier about your house.
I'll fight you too.
Sorry.
I could have said
I'll
worse
beat that
about your
hairline into
lips.
submission.
Yeah, I could have said worse about your lips. So keep it to yourself.
When I'm editing this, I'm just muting all your mics. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
no problem. Maro, where can they find you?
Oh my
Fuck
god.
you.
My
I'm not doing this
Twitter
podcast anymore.
is
ain't doing this no more.
at Scorpio_ho.
Never gets old.
HO. And my Instagram is Crimson Chin Ickes.
What's on that chin of yours, Maro?
Bye, everyone.